Tonight, an update on the mysterious story that we first broke last week. An international search continues for newlywed George Smith IV. Now, Smith married Jennifer Hagel in June. The couple went on a cruise through the Mediterranean. But the honeymoon ended on July 5th when the 26-year-old Smith vanished from the ship that was sailing between Greece and Turkey. So what happened that fateful night? Did he fall off the ship? Could he have been murdered? Tonight, there are few clues, but so many questions. The FBI confirms that it is on the case. We've also heard that the Smith family has traveled to Turkey to try to get answers. And with me now to talk about this bizarre story is maritime attorney James Walker. He's an expert in cases like this. James, this is such a difficult case, and I would suspect these are very hard cases to crack. Tell me, in a case like this, what's the chance of ever solving this case?
The chances are very slim that this is going to come to a successful investigation and conclusion. There are lots of factors that come into play in a situation like this. This particular cruise line, Royal Caribbean Cruises, is a Liberian corporation. They registered their business in Monrovia, Liberia, in the continent of Africa. This particular ship, the Brilliance of the Seas, is registered in the Bahamas. We have a potential crime occurring in international waters between Greece and Turkey. It's pretty much in a no man's land right now.
Exactly, James. So you've got this ship that's registered in Liberia. Obviously, they're in the middle of a civil war. They're not going to investigate it. Turkey and Greece aren't going to go after it. The FBI really doesn't have much authority to do much here. So, again, like you said, this case is in a no man's land. It's up to this poor Smith family from Connecticut to investigate the disappearance and possible murder of their son. So it doesn't get solved. We never find out what really happened on that fateful night, do we?
Well, it's going to be really the resources of this particular family, the Smith family, that's going to lead to any type of resolution for that family. You know, the only time Monrovia, Liberia is in the news is when there's a civil war, when the rebels are firing their AK-47s. The Bahamas will not get involved. Liberia will not get involved. There's some suggestion that a Turkish judge may be exercising jurisdiction over this. The cruise line says that it reported this incident to the FBI, but that may mean just one or two agents having an open file.
Okay, but I want to stop you. I want to stop you there. And first of all, we're going to be showing you some exclusive photos that Scarborough Country obtained of the ship and what happened during that cruise. And they're going to be separate pictures. So go ahead and roll those pictures right now, if you will. But, you know, this is my problem with the investigation. I understand the investigation was run by a person who actually defends cruise ships. And the most shocking thing is that you actually had people that stepped forward. And first of all, look at that balcony. Listen, that goes up to somebody's chest, first of all. They're not going to have a couple of drinks and fall over, which is what we were led to believe in the beginning. And also, there's somebody who stepped forward. It's been reported in the Connecticut paper. They heard screams that night. They found blood on the awning the next morning. They reported it to authorities, and nobody got back to them for 5 days. Could it be that possibly the problem here is that we've got people that are going to end up defending the cruise line, being the first ones on board investigating the cruise line?
Well, that's precisely the problem, Joe. We have probably 40, 45 cases where we've represented passengers who've been victims on cruise ships, many of the ships being Royal Caribbean cruise ships. The first investigation that's done is done by the in-house private investigators who are on the ship. Many cases, the defense attorneys who subsequently defend any case filed by the passenger's family actually fly out to the next port. That's particularly true in the Caribbean, and they can actually beat the cruise ship to the next port, and quite often the defense attorneys for the cruise lines are the first people up the gangway, and they'll conduct an investigation. As you know, attorneys have an ethical obligation to zealously represent their clients. So these attorneys are conducting an investigation solely to defend the cruise line.
And that's their responsibility, and you're exactly right, James. Their responsibility is to defend their client, to be advocates for their client, not to be advocates for the family of this poor young man who may have passed away. Thanks for being with us, James. And friends, I just got to tell you again, bottom line is, the night this happened, a woman heard a scream. The next morning she found blood. She reported it to authorities. 5 days passed before the authorities come back and question her. Something is going wrong here. We're going to continue our investigation.